Hello and welcome to Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. One champion has been crowned. The Durham Platinums are your Mari Women's Super League champions. But we've got one more champion to crown. The dynamic men's titles up for grabs. The defending champions, the London Giants, on their home floor will take on the Newcastle Knights in a rematch of a game we saw 2 weeks ago for the #1 overall seed. Mike Hanson Morris, Jess Smith with us again. Jess, these teams split the regular season, so this title is anyone's.
It really is. I mean, we saw this matchup 2 weeks ago, like you said. It was here at Crystal Palace. It was on this same floor. Giants won that matchup, but Newcastle yesterday were playing probably the best volleyball that we've seen them play all season. And we've been talking about how they've been on the ascendancy for the last couple of months. So excited to see what happens today. That little bit of extra practice at this court and in this venue is going to be massive for both of these squads. Takes that little bit of extra pressure off, doesn't it?
Yeah, and obviously they met on this floor, so pretty similar conditions. Sun is starting to disappear, so no worries about that one. Let's recap the Dynamic Men's Super League real quick, Jess. We know we lost Durham Platinums on a last day battle with Leeds Gorse. Leeds and Richmond Square for next week to try and avoid joining Durham in Division 1. Not maybe the bottom three we expected, but this Super League was so unpredictable this season.
Yeah, it was, and there were a couple of things that happened that you wouldn't necessarily expect. I mean, Soldikov having a bit of some time off during the season due to suspension, which did impact things for the Richmond squad. Maybe that contributed ultimately to them being in that playoff position, but we'll have to see what happens with them. And yeah, it was relatively spread, those bottom three, and then everybody else is, more equal.
Yeah, there's maybe a battle between 4th and 5th. Nottingham and Essex Rebels, though, defending National Cup holders, but too much overcome for Essex. Lost Jacob Comer injury, had a coaching change as well. Ewan Fraser did well. But then the top three setting themselves. The Mallory Eagles, who we've seen pick up the bronze medal earlier against the University of Nottingham. London Giants and Newcastle Knights were separated by 1 point, Jess. And that is showed how competitive the top half of the Super League has been. And again, this game is going to come down to the small margins.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, small margins indeed, because you're right. The separation between these two sides in the regular season league table is so small as to effectively be zero. And with the atmosphere here today, I mean, there's obviously going to be a bigger London Giants crowd than there is going to be Newcastle, because that's a very long way to travel.
Hold on a minute. The Newcastle women are here, and I have a suspicion, having picked up the bronze medal, they may be a bit of alcohol infused as well for this game, so they might be a little bit extra loud.
Okay, so are they going to make up for all of the London Giants fans?
See.
I know that there's plenty of drums out there for London Giants as well. We know that they will take confidence from having not only finished top of the table for the regular season, but also been the champions last season, beating out Mallory Eagles for that gold medal last year.
Well, Jess, we're going to let you go head upstairs, get ready. We're going to bring in our courtside correspondent for the Super League finals here with us, Aliyah Rafa, and we'll see you in a minute, Jess.
Right, thanks. Thanks.
And here is Aliyah courtside as we get ready. Aliyah, super interesting matchup because these two sides met so recently. Last day of the season, it came down to these two squaring up for the #1 seed. So that familiarity for both teams is going to be impactful in building a game plan and knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's also, just from what we know about both teams, it's kind of like a generational game. Like, we have a lot of experience on one side, a lot of foreign experience, and a lot of foreign but younger experience on the other side. So I think it's going to be a good game to see kind of, old dogs, new tricks, something like that, the phrase.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think Giants have been here before. The question, I think, in my head, at least for Newcastle, is can you win a championship? Because they couldn't close out Bucks, they couldn't walk out the regular season. But we are about 15 minutes away. Captains have been called, and we're going to go have a quick chat with the Giants head coach, Mihail Stowen, and get his thoughts here in Crystal Palace as they try and go back to back. As we'll make our way over to the Giants bench. And here he is with the Giants head coach, Mihail, defending champions. How nice is it to be coming in on your home floor against a team you know so well in Newcastle?
Well, it's amazing. Already the crowd is gathering up, so it's amazing feeling. Second year in the row, that's amazing achievement itself for the club, and obviously we've prepared on this court. We know the floor, we know where the sun comes through the window, so I think we are completely ready. Yeah?
Well, your captain's done a good job. He's won the toss and change sense.
Yeah.
So I think you're probably an instruction. But what pleased you the most yesterday? Obviously a big win in the semi, but what pleased you the most to build on today?
So definitely I was a little maybe too surprised with following the game plan, because usually this doesn't really happen very often, but the guys actually did a good job yesterday, and I expect them to do that today as well, and looking forward to the game. We're confident if we play the way we know, we should be able to be comfortably on the floor and present a good show.
Well, we'll let you go get ready. I know you got to warm up as well because you're going to be on court, but appreciate your time and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Thoughts of the Giants head coach Mihail Stoev. Obviously one little victory. We'll bring in Sam Shenton in a second as well.
Hello.
And here he is. Hey, Sam, busy weekend for you.
Yeah.
We'll very quickly touch upon the girls. How pleased was it to get them over the line in medal in the first year?
Awesome. I said to him, I'm going to walk into that changing room and it'll be down and no music playing on quiet, or I'll walk in and they'll be bouncing, and it was bouncing. So it pays a lot into the mental side and the resilience that the girls have. We lost 3-0 to Mallory, 25-9 in the last set. That's going to haunt me for a while, but to be able to come back and win it in 4 was awesome. Yeah, great play from those girls.
Obviously, big win yesterday against Mallory for your guys. What pleased you the most in that game? What pleased you the most about your team's performance?
We knew going into that game that it was going to be 20-20 every set, and we were more than comfortable to be 20-20 every set, which kind of shows the maturity of the team. A little bit older of a team, right? The starting sevens, mid-20s, so we just showed that maturity as we went on. So yeah, really happy with the guys yesterday.
Obviously, you've seen this Giants team a couple of times. 2 weeks ago in this venue, what tweaks have you told the guys to make? Because obviously you had success in that last game, couldn't quite close it out, but there's some positives to build on.
Just being able to use the block. Don't be scared of the block. Like, it's a big block, it's not that sealed. They're definitely going to have highlights. They're going to have a great highlight reel from this season. It doesn't put pen on paper, it's X's and O's on the stat sheet at the end of the day, point to point. So confidence, go for it, pass first, middles away, pipe away.
Well, we'll let you go get ready. Appreciate your time and best of luck.
Lovely to see you, mate.
Appreciate the thoughts and time of the coaches. And we'll bring in Aaliyah. And Aaliyah, we'll start with Newcastle. This is a team that nearly broke through last year, promoted to Super League, made the Final Four, but they've been so consistent this year. They've had success no matter where they've gone. They've moved people around. They've got a really great double sub as well. But it feels like the confidence from last year has just been built on, and nothing phases this group.
Yeah. And I think that's super important, like coming into a game like this. It's a gold medal match, important game. Emotions, attitudes, everything needs to be balanced. And when you're a team that isn't fazed by anything, isn't fazed by the pressure, isn't fazed by your opponent, that balance is going to come naturally.
And obviously, we saw yesterday the success through the middles. Isaac Gibbs was our game MVP. He had a monster game. Christo Blanchard, a Division 3 champion, has got the experience. And this group, when they play well, they've been able to involve the middles. They've had big games against the Giants through the middle as well. So how important is it to get those settled early to give the pins the outside? Because Giants' block is so big with the size they have.
Yeah, I think first importantly is that pass, that serve C pass, or maximizing that free ball pass to get those middles open, and like you're saying, those outsides later in the game.
And obviously, it's been interesting. They've lost a big piece in James Ledbury with injury, got hurt late in the season. But this core group, they haven't blinked. Outside of maybe the regret will be that Bucks final, but they still play consistent volleyball. But they've got young British players developing, and Ollie Tuck, the captain, you know how vocal he is. You've heard it plenty of times on the sideline, but how much is that important that you've got that experience within the British system that knows the league to come through in pressure games?
Yeah, I think he's just got a level head. I think he's very experienced, like you're saying, and the brain work that comes with the physical work can be spreadable across his own team and across the game.
And then we'll talk about the hosts and the defending champions, the London Giants. Giant by name, giant by nature. Like, it's impressive the size they can put on the floor with so many lineups.
Yeah.
Obviously, even with big setters. But what the versatility is shown is they're not reliant on the best hitter in the league in Hamza through the middle. Because normally, oh, we got a middle, we go 500, we have to feed in the ball. But they don't, because they've got the pins to balance it out.
No, 100%. I think their offense is very versatile. Like you're saying, they're giants in real life, but they can all do different things with the ball, let alone smash, but also just tool and cutties, and they can do a lot of different things on offense.
And we'll now have a look at our ones to watch for this game, and we're going to start on the Giants side, and we're going to talk about Danil Povarenko, the Ukrainian opposite, wearing number 1 for the London Giants. He got hurt in that opening day game against University of Nottingham, missed 3 or 4 games, but ever since he's come back into that opposite position, he's just been so versatile. But what he's got in that position is the range of shots. He's still young, but you can tell the experience and he's brought into this team because he's so level-headed and he understands how to read the block.
Yeah, and at such a young age, I think that's super important. And I think also that time that he was able to spend under injury, obviously recovering, allowed him to really come onto that court with some new IQ, because you can learn so much from off the court and watching this team play.
Especially when it's a new team that haven't spent a lot of time together, building connections is super important. On the other side of the net, we talked about James Ledbury being absent. Well, the one thing you need to do is you need a replacement when someone steps up, and Hayden Free is not going to jump out at you. He's not going to be stood there and going, wow, what a big impact. But what he's done is just be solid, stepped into the pass, and it's just solid. Cut down errors and let the others shine. But when I'm needed, I can step up and take the ball too.
Yeah. And I think that's what every coach can ask from anybody on the court, whether that's a bench player coming in or that's a starter. All your coach wants you to do and trusts you to do is do your job on the court. And if he's doing that, that's all you can ask for.
We know this game's going to be fiercely contested, but we were looking, when you looked through the stats earlier today, the blocking, you said to me, stood out. Newcastle had a lot of success avoiding the Giants' block. London Giants just 2 blocks in the last game 2 weeks ago. So how important is it that Giants established that block defense to really set them up and control the Newcastle offense?
Yeah, I think controlling it will, once they do control it, more than 2 blocks is going to come. And I think to do that, it's just focusing on their technique, focusing on practice. I'm sure they didn't practice just to get 2 blocks. They've definitely practiced a lot more than that. And I'm sure they're aiming to do that tonight.
Right, we're going to leave you down here. The sun has gone out, so you don't need your sunglasses anymore.
Thank goodness.
But we're going to head upstairs, and Jess Smith's ready to take us away. We are 7 minutes away from the dynamic Men's Super League final.
Great chat down on the court. Exciting to hear from both coaches as well. Michał Stoev for the London Giants sounding extremely confident heading into this dynamic Men's Super League gold medal match. And Sam Shenton very excited about the prospect of his team making it to the gold medal match as well, and hoping to close things out after a very successful season for this Newcastle squad. There have been a couple of changes in the lineups for the Giants team, so we'll talk about those here shortly. But this is really going to be a battle of the huge height of the London Giants team against the incredible defense that we saw from Newcastle yesterday and that we've seen so far in this season. How can they spread the offense out? How can they make the London Giants block work really hard? And how can they push everything so that it's Giants having to giving up errors to help Newcastle stay in this match and potentially take home a gold medal? So players are just at the service line doing a little bit of warming up ahead of this match kicking off. I think we're going to expect first serve at around 5:40 p.m. So they should be live here shortly. curious as well to see whether or not we see an appearance from head coach Michal Stoev, who, in addition to being the head coach, is also a registered player for the Giants. He has made a few appearances this season. Not as consistent a part of the on-court team as he was last year, but definitely out there when needed.
As we're a few minutes away, players just going through final warm-ups in this gold medal game here at Crystal Palace for the final. As we're just getting ready, as again, a little bit of mind games from London Giants. Moving a couple of players in and out of positions is definitely interesting. But Jess, when we looked at this game a couple of weeks ago, it was Giants dominated hitting wise, but there was definitely some moments where the fact that Newcastle could play around the block will give them some confidence that they can find ways to still kill this ball, because if they pass, and they didn't pass that well a couple of weeks ago, that we've seen yesterday, that clinical offense is so important.
Yeah, it really is. And I think, you know, the offensive options that Newcastle has, if they can get their middles involved, we saw it yesterday with a great performance from both Isaac Gibbs and Blanchin through that middle position, absolutely contributing to that win over Mallory Eagles. It's going to be massive for them today. Can they get that running? Can they keep the pass in? And can they keep making those incredible digs that we saw yesterday afternoon?
Yeah, and I know in that first game, it was a long time ago, it was in November, but both teams had eight aces each. There's a tongue twister for myself after a long weekend. But both teams served below 80%, Jess. It was a combined 43 service errors in that final. And obviously, we know the ball can move, but we feel like both teams want to put service pressure on, so there's a chance for the error rate to really creep up if they're not careful.
Yeah, and that is a challenge, because you have to put service pressure on, especially for this Giants team. If you want to keep them out of system, if you want to keep them from absolutely smashing the ball. I mean, we know they've got Sam, they've got Oyachi through the middle, they've got Povarenko on the opposite. There's a lot of height there, and there's a lot of, you know, route to absolutely crushing the ball. So Newcastle have to do whatever they can to slow that down.
Yeah, as both teams come to meet the net for the customary handshakes. They're trying to work out who's going in which direction. It's always a controversial moment if they both go the opposite way.
I mean, typically speaking, everybody goes from the right-hand side of the net to the left. And we're at the end of the season now, so in theory, everybody should know what's happening. But, yeah, always good to just double-check.
And obviously, we said downstairs at the toss, Giants won it, immediately changed ends, but it doesn't feel like the sun's going to be much of an issue.
I don't think so. I think that was more of like a mental thing, because they know that if Newcastle wins the toss, they're going to ask to change ends. So if they take that choice away from Newcastle.
Well, no, I don't think that's the end that has only had some sun. So
yeah.
I think actually Newcastle are probably going to stay, but
so as we're just about to get started here, we've got first referee Nick Heckford with our second referee Dominic Bigelow. But Nick Heckford, the head of the referees, in the stands for this one. On the stand for that one, he's done a tremendous job, as you said before, the women's final. The officials have done really good controlling it, and it's always great to have the lead referee on the chair for this one, just to calm down emotions, because we know that can be an emotional time. So we are now going to meet the Newcastle Knights starting 7. They're led out by number 8, the captain, Ollie Tuck. Number 1, Neil Ray, the starting setup. We will probably see him have some time on the double sub. Number 11, Kalichi Bell on the left-hand side of the offense. Number 12, Isaac Gibbs, our game MVP from yesterday, joined by number 23, Hayden Freer. We talked about him downstairs, has done a really solid job. Cristo Blanchin Buente, the Brazilian middle, who has won a title before, and Angus Henricks, the libero, full of energy, Jess. He's a bright spark on and off the court. I really enjoy watching him, and I like that he's repeated that one-handed cartwheel that he did before the match yesterday. Seemed to have brought them some luck. So I'll be hoping for the same today.
And now we get to meet the London Giants, led out by their captain, number 8, Griffin Feisler. And he'll be joined by number 1, Daniil Povarenko. Number 2, Valdis Odikus, the middle, who was a little bit quiet yesterday, also came up with some big points in big spots. Number 3, the hitting machine of Hamza Ouauchi. Number 19, Amadou Sam. Number 44, Dorian Point, who had a big final last year against the Essex Rebels. And the number 17, Jesus Izaguirre Rodriguez.
Yeah, you mentioned Poink and the impact that he had last year against Essex Rebels. I think at some point we moved from calling him Poink to calling him Points.
We did.
Amadou Sam just testing his vertical there, reaching up to touch the top of that antenna on the outside. As we've got 7 Nation Army playing in the background to really set the tone for this gold medal match.
So, dynamic men's Super League gold medal game, Giants Newcastle, underway here at Crystal Palace. Immediate block, Izaguirre Rodriguez, that's tight. Sam goes left-handed and Angus Henriks, a little bit too energetic. That cartwheel got his emotions going too much. Steps in front of Freer for the error.
Yeah, a bit of a difficult one, but I'm just going to say there is no way that that ball is coming back over the net if it's not Sam on the outside position there. That is a ridiculous reach to keep that ball from going out of play.
I don't know, I think Povarenko's got a bit of a reach too.
Yeah.
This is the problem with this Giant team. They are giant by name and giant by nature.
Yeah, literally giants.
Freer, line, dug up by Feisler, but that's going to be 4 off the chest of Ouauchi on the dig.
Great swing from Freer there against a really tough block. I mean, obviously we've been talking about the height of this Giant squad, so hitting around, hitting through, or taking advantage of high hands on the Giants block is going to be key for Newcastle.
As Isaac Gibbs wants that one back.
Yeah, always tough as one of the first servers as the match kicks off. We're only 3 points in. Plenty still to go out here.
That's definitely the loudest the crowd has been all day. Povarenko goes long.
We're not going to be doing this again, are we?
Anything is possible. It's Final Four day. We've seen crazy things happen.
Yeah. That brings Bell up to the service line.
As Sam goes with the one-handed tip, and they're going to call a net touch on the follow-through on the tip.
Yeah, that was a very tight set. I think Sam would have been lucky to keep himself out of the net on that one. I think at first the Knights thought that that was going to get called down on the floor, but absolutely convinced that Bell got a hand to it.
It's interesting that we've got a pretty much split chat, Jess. 50-50. As Ouauchi misses. Rare error by Hamza Ouauchi, who's had a dominant season through the middle. Jess, that was attempt number, going into Final Four, he had 201 attempts, 15 errors. So I think he had 1 or 2 yesterday. So we're talking error number 17 or 18 of the season. As Bell responds with a service error. And it's interesting because Newcastle went big on the serve against Mallory and had a lot of success. And today it seems like it's gone a little bit, they've gone a bit more passive, but now the errors are coming. Should be the other way around in theory.
I mean, maybe despite what Coach Dove was saying, maybe there's a little bit of nerves coming into this gold medal match.
As Amadou Sam, misses by a little bit. James Ledbury will enjoy that one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Maybe he'll pop up in the comments on the YouTube channel. We saw him up here
good, yep.
chatting away while he was also commentating. Impressive
Yeah.
Impressive skills.
For those of you that don't know, James Ledbury maybe missed the serve of the season that probably would have missed on a second volleyball court.
Probably.
As Amadou Sam pulls it over. Henriks there. Blanchin, Buente through the middle. Dug up by Povarenko. Knights in control of the rally. As that one is going to be tight and over. Ollie Tuck can't find the floor. It's a great block cover. And point turns into point off the net tape.
Starting already, I mean, that's a crazy, crazy rally. Some really great defensive touches there. That cover from Oyachi at the net, almost a reaction or a bit of a, I'm in position and hoping the ball hits me, but great up for him.
Appreciate all of you joining us in the chat. I think looks like Cristo Bianchin Buente's parents joining us as well from Brazil. As the touch is...
Oh, we're going to have a small debate here.
Overruled.
Line ref calls a touch. Nick Heckford overrules it.
Oh, hold off on that one. As Hamza Ouchi finds Hayden for a beautiful pass. And Neil Ray tries to get tricky and makes a meal of that one. He'll want that one back. But we know Neil Ray's a little bit of a lie while he's super aggressive for a setter. We saw it out of Emily Feller earlier today. Neil Ray, 22 kills on the season from the setting position. Loves to turn and hit one as Uauchi tries to go short into the net.
Yeah, not the best. It'll be interesting in this matchup between these two setters because Pfizer's quite aggressive as a setter as well. So you've got, you know, two firebrands up at the net.
And here is Christo back at the service line. That'll bring Isaac Gibbs into the front row. Tries to take some off it and takes a lot off it. And all of a sudden, the Newcastle Mallory Eagles will be watching going, where was this yesterday?
I'm just going to say that's 6 service errors in the first 13 points.
Well, we did talk about teams serving at 80 and 78% in the Northeast in October in the fixture that the Knights won 3 sets to 2. So maybe that's the recipe. Both teams serving error, Knights win.
Potentially.
As Gibbs, good touch by Feisler to keep it alive. Povarenko, all he can do is tip it up. Ray, back set, but a little bit short, so Bell can't put a proper swing on that one. Povarenko can, but is denied.
Wow.
Isaac Gibbs shuts the door.
I mean, this is exactly why Gibbs was our MVP yesterday. That is a monstrous block. Huge against Povarenko early on in this set. Nowhere to go with that one. That block was fully closed.
As that is destroyed through the middle of the floor.
Big middle kicking off as expected for Giants because both Adekas and Oyachi are highly efficient in that position.
So a slender 8-7 lead to the London Giants on Championship Sunday. Ollie Tuck over and in between Sam and Atticus. Izagirre Rodriguez is like, my fault. I think he saw where the gap in the block was, didn't quite move his feet quick enough. Yeah, I'm not sure even if his feet were anywhere near it, he's seeing that ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's really tough, but impressive from Tuck to see that gap in the block.
Sam can't control the pass, so we'll give up the free ball. Off the serve of Ollie Tuck. Gibbs bounces it into Mihail Stoev. Coach, look out. I've got a volleyball Christmas present for you.
But it is in, which keeps Tuck at the service line.
So Tuck this time changes it up. Sam, that's going to be tight. Feisler rescues with one hand. But again, it's a free ball back-to-back off the serve of Ollie Tuck. And he goes pipe, belts the back corner.
That is another one of those postage stamp perfect kills. Great stack play. Excellent from all of the Newcastle front row players to draw the block. And of course, drawing the first timeout called here by the London Giants.
Yeah, the serve-receive unit. And if you listen to the podcast in the week when we caught up with some of the Super League coaches, there was a big point that Ryan Murphy of Richmond said. It says, our plan is go at Amadou Sam. He's the weak spot in the serve-receive. And a couple of times now we've seen him not with perfect passes.
Yeah, and I mean, Griffin Feisler's really effective and can usually put up a hittable ball on a not perfect pass, but it's got to be at least within the court. We can't be having shanked passes way over by the advertising boards every single point. Feisler's going to run out of legs.
Well, you don't need to chase him if they're that shanked. They'll just let the Daniil Povarenko make second touch. Obviously, it puts you out of system. Amadou Sam has said, it's hard to say he's a weak spot. He's passing a 207. But the others in the unit, 2-3-1 for George Ivanov and Jesus Izaguirre Rodriguez, 2-3-4 for Dorian Point. So it is a 0.2 difference, but 207 still not the worst serve-receive rating.
I mean, that's not bad for an outside all throughout the season, as Mikhail Stoev earns his first point, despite the fact that he's not on the court.
Well, at least not yet. He did play 2 sets in that game a couple of weeks ago as Bell Point gets down to rescue. Sam lines up and obliterates the ball. Angus Henricks was close to it, but can't control it, and that ends up in the front row of the bleachers.
Yeah, Henricks, excellent in defense. I mean, he's got great positioning there, but that's a lot of heat to try and take off the ball.
The only good news about Crystal Palace is if you hit the roof, you've done a tremendous job.
Yeah, it's very high, ridiculously high. But that's excellent for volleyball. That's what you want.
100%. No scoreboard rule needed. We're not. As Freya, tight ball, tries to go for the touch, but recycle. Neil Ray comes over and will give his opposite a second chance. Atticus with the dig. As Hamza Uauchi rejects the ball. Hayden Freya went aggressive, Jess. Maybe not the best decision.
I mean, 3 swings in quick succession. That's a tough one, and Oyachi's already stood there, fresh off that last block. He saw where it's coming to, and yeah, Freya just probably not the best decision in that moment.
So Atticus back to serve. Neil Ray is going to have to run all the way to that left side. Freya this time finds the hand. Good adjustment, Aiden Freya.
Yeah, really smart there. He sees that Oyachi's hands haven't closed all the way for that block. Just goes between them, kind of pinballs between the elbows as it goes on its way out. And Bell is shut down.
Well, we talked about Giants only having 2 blocks in the game 2 weeks ago. Well, wait, 23 points and we can have 2 blocks.
Both for Oyachi already in this match.
Ray out to about 4 meters. Freya sees the early block, tries to go for the roll. Uauchi wanting the double touch tonight, and the referee's agreeing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That looked a little bit wonky coming off of the taped up fingers of Oyachi.
Sam, good pass that time. Povarenko from the 10. Big touch, Freya, but Kelechi Bell trying his best to find if he can.
He wasn't too far off from making a touch on that ball, which honestly would be very impressive. Shentz is trying to flag down one of our volunteers. Oh, it's Mish. And she's saying, where's the wet?
About a 2 meter trail. As Amadou Sam connects with that one, Hayden Freer does well to even get a touch on it, but good luck passing it.
Yeah, I mean, that ball is dipping, diving, and rolling all at the same time.
Amadou Sam just 8 aces on the season, 32 errors. Trades the ace for the error.
But again, one of those 50% service runs, 1 ace, 1 error, that's not bad going. And better than his last serve where he had a service error straight away. So his 1 serve that's been an ace.
Feisler, big run to chase. Good set point goes into the block of Izagirre Rodriguez. That's a double touch, but it's internal and point nets anyway.
I feel like that set's coming really low on Izagirre. Like that looks like it's going chest full up, total beach style. Don't know what you guys think at home. Do you think that's a little too beachy, or are you liking it?
Can you have too much beach when you're at Crystal Palace? As Povarenko denied Neil Ray, I think, lined up his left hand on the ball as the Knights form the triple block. We know how efficient Knights are at getting the triple block up and out.
Yeah, it's really impressive how often they really can get that triple block out there, but fully set as well. Like, there's no gaps in that block, generally speaking.
As Hayden Freer nets. Someone agrees, definitely a beach set. The problem is the beach court is about 50 metres to our right and down a couple of levels here at Crystal Palace.
But that's not the problem. It's indoor. There's very clear rules about carries.
As Uauchi ties up free, Ollie Tuck wanting to leave it for Hendricks. Kalichi Bell's going to attack from the free. Great aggressive idea. Feisler to Povarenko. As Ollie Tuck goes into the triple. Again, Knights get the recycle. Do they change direction? No, it's back to Tuck. He goes net taping out. You wonder there if that's the one to flip the direction. Everyone had creeped over to that side, and maybe Bell on the 10 was the option.
Which is exactly what I was going to say. It's looking like in these longer rallies, the Newcastle offense is a little too one-dimensional. They're going outside, they're going outside, they're going outside. They need to be able to change it up. Use the pipe, use the opposite. Go to the middle. You know, even if it's not a perfect swing, it might just throw off the block.
Point finds net tape. Hendricks can't chase it down, and he goes into the LED.
Think he's okay? Okay, he's okay.
Just checking there's no blood.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that ball was going to be in or not. I mean, Dorian Poink, we've seen him hit some crazy angles anyway so far this season. Hendricks
Nick Hedford just giving him a second to check he's okay. Really smart, proactive refereeing.
Yeah, I like this. Always good to see somebody come back onto the court after running into the advertising boards. Another service error.
I mean, a bit of an injury timeout. It was a legitimate one. He went into the LEDs with his hand. But that just gave Giants a bit of extra time, almost like a little coach's timeout.
Almost. Very close here, but that brings us up to 10 service errors in this match. I'm not a huge fan of the Newcastle with the flying stab arm, as Ollie Tuck has to chase that ball down.
As that is touched onto the line by Griffin Feisler. Beautiful awareness, seeing the block, seeing the space so wide of it, and he knew with the height he could get it down on time.
Yeah, you can see both Gibbs and Tuck knew that an attack was coming. They're both up there, but Feisler, great court awareness to see that little bit of space right up there in position 4.
Right, there's the 10 ball, and Bell misses. Ollie Tuck wanting it to be in, but probably out by 20, 30 centimeters at least.
At least, yeah. Not the best of swings. I do like the idea of going cross court. If you can go a little bit deeper, it gives himself a little bit more court space to work with.
So Giants just starting to creep out on the lead, and Griffin Feisler wants it from the Knights women. He cups his ears.
I would have loved to have, you know, the Hawkeye system for that, because that's just brushing the line. It's a beautiful serve.
And Angus Hendricks just going to be given a bit of time to get some tape.
Yeah, a little bit of extra support here.
I mean, Brian Cunningham-Tarr is on the Newcastle bench. Hendricks missed some time in the middle of the season, and Brian Cunningham-Tarr did a really solid job. It wasn't starry, but it was just solid.
Yeah, but sometimes that's what you need is, you know, a solid base to work from.
Knights need a point. Can they get one? Yes, they can. Block touch, Atticus.
Really smart swing there from Ollie Tuck. Great moment for it as well from the captain to stop that little mini run from the London Giants.
as Ray off the net tape. Izagirre Rodriguez handles it well. Sam from the back row, brilliant by Freya. Tight set, but out of system as point goes roll. Bell, Sam gets a touch. Feisler tries the football bicycle kick. We've seen one of them this year.
Great chase down from the Giants, but what a swing from Bell. I like this adjustment to go just a little bit of fingertips, really high hands.
As the Newcastle Knights women getting baked in sunshine. As that creeps in, and Neil Ray, service error number 700 for the Knights in set number 1.
Yep. Again, they need to get those serves in. I know they need to put the service pressure on, but I think going long at this point is better than going into the net.
Dorian Point goes into the nets.
And so it continues. What do you think we're on for service errors?
7-5 Newcastle.
6-all.
12.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You were correct with the total number, yes. Good work.
Ollie Tuck, good serve, well handled by Point. No, Povarenko, Neil Ray touch, Ollie Tuck not getting that one, and without a forward cartwheel somersault and still landing on his feet to play the ball.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a stats table just behind the advertising boards at both ends of the court, actually, and that just meant that no chance of making his way through there as Newcastle call timeout.
Indeed, so 22-19 the Giants lead. And a chance for Michal Sturr to talk it over and how they want to conclude this set on court. What can you do on the pass? And a little bit of energy being taken as well. Warm day, making sure everyone stays fresh, taking on some carbs, because if this goes long, you don't want to be affected.
Definitely not.
I think for the first time in this match, we're going to head courtside, because Aliyah Rafa, we've noticed there is a missing iPad out of Sam Shenton's hand, and we're wondering if you've got any insight into where it might be. Oh, can't quite get hold of Aliyah yet. We'll try and come to it after this point.
So we had lots of individual technique talk coming from the Knights coach in that timeout as they look to push towards a tie or even an overcome of the London Giants right now.
Interesting there. Yeah, wanting some aggression. That looked like a bit of an invasion to me.
It's probably been called in a blocking action.
Still have to let your opponents be able to touch the ball first.
Bell. And this time makes the adjustment. That block of Samanuauchi is so big and long. And there, the nice little adjustment. And now the Knights have to find aggressiveness, but they also have to find ball in play, because you can't afford another service error. If not, could be multiple set points. And there is the service error. Gibbs goes long.
Well, clearly they're listening, because that one went out instead of into the net. One half a step better?
Well, it did say one of the iPads has got a live stream on. So maybe you are listening to the commentary.
Maybe. I would listen if I were me, because clearly we are volleyball geniuses.
As the one more point, its chant is starting to belt around Crystal Palace. Povarenko. Henriks with a beautiful ball. Bell, Izagirre Rodriguez and Sam combined, keep it alive. Feisler with the left-handed swing, misses. Not by a lot.
Wow, that was very, very tight.
I think the line judge had a difficult call, because Feisler momentum took him wide and probably into the view of the line judge.
I think Feisler, Uyachi, and Sam are all kind of right there in her field of vision.
Yeah.
Second referee's probably got the best view.
Point. Feisler out to 3.5. Sam into the block. punches it to keep it up, but punch off the antenna. 2 down, 2 to go if you're the Knights. Michal Stoev does have a timeout in his back pocket.
And he's saying, press the button, press the button.
And they'll have a chance to talk it over and understand what they want. Really just one good pass, but also make Lechibel think about the serve. As our line judge, Herman Prada, just going to double check the antenna is all in good working order.
Yeah, it took a bit of a thrashing there. Could see on the stream just a moment ago, it did look like it was a bit out of line with the court. Loving this late fight back from Newcastle. I mean, we've seen them put in some really impressive points at some clutch moments this season.
So 2 points still needed for the Knights to force extras. They're not going to get it. Feisler, Aouchi, set number 1, London Giants. The league's leading hitter in the Dynamic Men's Super League. Comes through in the clutch.
Closing out that first set, almost exactly how you would expect London Giants would have wanted to, with a set straight out to Aouchi.
We'll have a look and have a look at some stats. And we said it's the errors, 11 errors in the end for the Knights in set number 1. 11 though for the Giants. So both teams not really in the rhythm. 9-8 the kills, but it's the couple of aces that were super important, Jess. Those 2 big serves that Newcastle couldn't quite handle, just causing some momentum. Newcastle yet to ace the Giants, and they did struggle in that game a couple of weeks ago to put that service pressure on. And obviously, serve errors don't help, but it doesn't feel like they're connecting the same way that they were yesterday against Mallory in that semi-final.
Yeah, not quite. The service pressure was really good yesterday against Mallory. And I don't know if it's just that the temperature's a little bit different today because we're playing at a slightly different time, or if it's the atmosphere, the sun's starting to come back out now.
No, we're not. Not for the Knights. They started at 5:30 yesterday.
Yes.
And we were on time, believe it or not.
I do think it's warmer today than it was yesterday.
Oh, it's definitely warmer, and the sun is now deciding to blind a block of spectators on the Giants' baseline. But I think it's such an angle that I don't think the court's going to be effective for the rest of the game.
Yeah, the sun's coming down enough now that it's going to be high up. I will be surprised, though, if some of the fans start moving around to try and not be blinded by that sun coming straight through the windows. So an interesting stat line, though, for that first set. The number of errors on both sides quite high. Newcastle having 11 of their 22 points coming off of errors from the Giants. That can't be right.
So Sam Shenton having a long chat with Christo Bianchin. And the Giants in the huddle with Michal Stoev. It looks like he's very animated, well, not really animated, very calm, but he's delivering a strong message. And Sam Shenton a bit more relaxed. And he did say in that pre-game, like, yes, they're coming to come win it, but it doesn't feel like there's a lot of pressure on them. Obviously, getting to a couple of finals this year is a big step forward for the program, and yeah, of course, you always want to go home with the gold, but they are going the right direction.
Yeah, interesting to see what happens in this second set. It's relatively close in set number 1. Couple of tweaks to make. You know, both teams last set had 11 errors. You know, a fair few service errors. We make a couple of jokes about that, but which team can clean it up this set? Which team can keep things moving?
So it'll be Dorian Poink to get us underway in set 2. No changes to either 7.
Not surprising.
There's Henrik's 3-point pass to get us underway. Kalichi Bell through the middle Haven't seen that from Newcastle too much, where Bell steps inside and Isaac Gibbs drifts out to the left, but a little bit of a mesh, and Giants not able to read that block.
We did see some stack play from Newcastle Knights yesterday. So
Ollie Tuck, we saw, find the corner on one serve early in the game. Doesn't find that one.
again, though, we're at least going over the net, so an improvement for the Newcastle Knights. And I think that one just pasted that dash at the back of the court on the Giants' end. Huge block there.
Good luck block covering that.
And I think Gibbs took that one to the eye or nose. No chance of reacting to that at the speed it was coming down towards the floor. And this is a moment where, does the setting style of Neil put Newcastle at a disadvantage? He likes to put up a really nice high ball for his attackers.
As Atticus grimaces in frustration. That one not quite what was in the plan.
Not quite. We'll continue our service error count.
I'm going to have to pull out the serving stats, aren't I? Atticus, 93% on the season. Only 11 errors in 43 sets.
Oyachi again over the top, this time of Biancan.
So Povorenko nets himself. That's what, 3 service errors in 7 points? 6 points?
6 points, yep. Not too dissimilar to the start that we saw in set number 1.
Average height for the Giants, about 6'7". That's probably about correct. It's definitely not far off as Oauchi. Block touch. Henricks gets there, but Neil Ray will have to give up a free ball. Miscommunication once again. Feisler, Sam. Ollie Tuck's left foot doesn't connect.
Yeah, Neil immediately putting a hand up saying he's either lined up too far to the pin on that ball or just left a bit of a gap, but Sam taking full advantage. Great swing.
There's free, a lovely high ball to the 3-meter line. Bell, back court, and Ollie Tuck can't get there on the cover. Bell did well to stay behind the 3-meter line.
Yeah, he really did, but again, this blocking from London Giants is getting really dialed in on the Newcastle offense.
Blanchin is absolutely roofed by Hamza Oauchi through the middle.
And just a reminder from Nick Heckford that celebrations need to be done away from the net.
Oauchi peeled off, but I think Point was maybe a little bit late with his. But yeah, not a lot you can do. The Giants have brought their best defensive game so far in this finals. Frio is shut down by Feisler.
3 blocks in a row. Newcastle need to make some changes offensively.
And Sam Shenton perfectly summarised it. You know with this team they're going to get highlights. The question is, how do you contain it and just forget about it? 1 point is 1 point.
It is. They've got to let it go. They've got to move on to the next, but they do have to make some adjustments here on the offense, whether that's a change in setting options to change the tempo, or if they're just going to make some adjustments on where they are attacking at exactly. Giants looking very pumped up in their huddle. And some intense chat happening in the Knights huddle.
See if that timeout has calmed anything down. Just give a chance for Newcastle to catch their breath. As Tuck, right, and nope. 4 points in a row, block party. We'll head down courtside to Aaliyah, who was down listening into the Giants.
Giants are celebrating in that timeout that was just taken, and they were hoping to continue the block party they started in the points before the timeout, and as we can see, they are doing just that.
Yeah, they definitely continued that block party with the fourth block coming in after that timeout, but that serve just going wide from Amadou Sam, who is looking like he's out there to get his second ace of the match.
Yeah, that's a miss you don't mind. It's not by a lot. It makes them think, again, a couple of inches either way, and it's causing problems as Freya with a great serve. Izagiri Rodriguez handles it well. Blanchin gets the block up on Povarenko, and Point turns and fires, and Hayden Freer makes the mistake, a little bit flat-footed, but Hayden Freer immediately on that.
But that's the challenge from Dorian Point. He has so many different shots. He has an incredible amount of experience. We've seen him time and time again put something different out on that court.
As Christo Blanchin, oh, that's tight. Ollie Tuck, great rude. Atticus couldn't swing on that. Poink finds Henricks. And Bell misses. A couple of misplays by Christo Bianchin there.
Yeah, I don't think that his teammates wanted him to take that serve. So just a little bit of a mental reset needed here for the Newcastle Knights. Good pass there.
As Povarenko from the 10.
Yeah.
And London Giants are full gas at the moment. Just everything they touch turns to gold. And maybe they'll be walking home with that gold medal in 30 minutes time or so.
Yeah, they looked really in control in yesterday's match against Uni of Knox. And today they, after that wobble at the start of the first set, they seem to be back right where they were yesterday.
Bell against Point finds the left hand.
Smart swing. I feel like when Bell's taking a little bit of power off, putting in a little bit of roll, put a little bit of angle onto the ball, he's getting a lot of success with that block out touch. So it's just, can they continue to make those types of adjustments to try and put the ball away in tough situations?
As that one rolls off the net tape, Atticus can't quite react to it to make the pancake.
And that'll be our first ace for the Newcastle Knights in this gold medal match. Tape tricklers are always tough to manage.
As ace error.
Yep, we've seen this before. Last time it was on the other side of the net with Sam having an ace and then an error to follow that up.
Gibbs into the block of Atticus. Feisler back set. Povarenko is shut down by Gibbs and Tuck.
Huge.
Gets that one put right back on him, and Newcastle starting to find the footing.
Yeah, we saw a momentum shift in the first set after Povarenko was shut down by the same blocking duo. Huge from them right now, as we're going to have a substitution.
Set a change for the Knights. Neil Ray out, Cade Trulo in. Trulo's done a solid job for the Knights.
Yeah,
almost identical stats to Neil Ray as Atticus runs the middle and Gibbs can't quite close the angle.
Really great speed on that Giants offense there. Gibbs doing his best to try and get closed down on that ball. Just tough to pick up with that deflecting ball touch. Perfect pass.
Pipe ball. Gibbs gets it back on one and nails it, but it all came from the first swing. Newcastle realizing they need to change some stuff up, starting to split where the ball's going. That's the first pipe of the final for them.
Yeah, this is going to be key here, is what Cade will do differently from an offensive standpoint. Spreading things out, maybe running a slightly different tempo. All of that's going to contribute to an opportunity for Newcastle to get back in it, although...
Good luck.
Yeah, that being said, If Amadou Sam's going to come in like that, what do you do? That's inside the 3-meter line, I think. Yeah.
Right on it, yeah.
Crazy swing, crazy angle.
Amadou Sam's been a little bit quiet in this final. In fact, has struggled all season against the Knights. As Henriks goes high, hands, but it squirts through and over. And that's another ace for Atticus, who's definitely been effective on the service line. We talked about that serve rating. Serve percentage early. He's also got the highest serve rating of the London Giants. And he'll try again as Henriks again struggles to deal with it. Bell, block touch off Sam Onuwauchi, and again, there's going to be plenty of high hands with those two.
Yeah, I mean, plenty to go at if you can keep your aim there. The hard part, though, is Oyachi gets up there, but then presses down so hard. How do you get high hands if you've just got a roof over your head?
As Gibbs changes it up, Onuwauchi's tested in serve receive, doesn't get it back, Sam does. And there's not enough press by Bell that time, but right idea, and again, good serving by the Knights to really attack. Hamza Onuwauchi has had to play a few balls this season, but has 2 errors on just 11 attempts coming into the final 4. So anytime you get the middle involved in the pass, it isn't a bad option. That was very close to the line. Trullo sent flying and can't rescue that one.
That was very close to the line, but I do think
Sam
he did
Shenton
not.
telling the line judge to keep an eye on it. Ollie Tuck moaning, but the line judge was looking at the feet.
Yep.
It was definitely tight, but he's got a better view than anyone in the gym.
Exactly, and I mean, he stood right in line with the baseline, if anybody's going to know.
And it's a Super League referee.
Mm-hmm. Plenty more space from the baseline that time around.
Lanchin changes it up, gets Onuwauchi in the air, then pushes it away to his left.
Smart, and this is what we need to see from Newcastle. They have to figure out ways to get around that block as we see a reversal of that setting substitution with Neil coming back in to play the front rotation. But we will see the double sub for the London Giants.
If you need a change, why not bring on 2 former Super League champions? Number 12, Andrea Maggio, and number 4, Diego Tamburini. Both champions with IBB Bologna. Diego Tamburini has a slightly better assist ratio this season, which says a lot. Very different styles as he gets the one-handed tip, and Onuwauchi manages to correct. But great sprint by Tamburini to get there, and he enjoys that one.
Yeah, he did really well to get a hand to that. Angus Henriks nearly getting that ball up off of an awkward touch. But London Giants absolutely in control at the business end of set number 2.
Neil Ray back in. A little bit too far away. That's going to be tight. Giants try and rescue it, but Onuwauchi can't quite make the connection off Sam's one-handed pass.
Yeah, that ball's coming over the back of his shoulder. He's got to turn and still try and get it across the net. Just doesn't quite connect with it the way he wants. As we have another substitution for Newcastle.
Sam Smallwood will check in, wearing number 9 for Hayden Freer. Smallwood saw some time in that Bucks final, that 5-set thriller against the University of Nottingham, where Knights nearly pulled off the reverse sweep. As Smallwood is the latest to nearly hit the line. As point rejected. Onuwauchi!
Yep, that's going to be called a carry.
It's going to be called for the illegal contact.
If you are a volleyball watcher, you're going to know that that was effectively a dunk. He's carried that ball from one side of his head to the other, completely changing the direction of it. Newcastle ladies cheering on that call.
And Smallwood deep, but just a little too deep. And that is effectively just a serving sub for Newcastle. Not often you see the outside being the serving sub, but Sam Smallwood coming in on duties for that. And the London Giants are going to make a change of their own as Atticus is out. Kadeem McCoy is in, and Diego Tamburini, the captain, just double checking there in what rotation they're in. They are in 3. So that means probably a good idea since you've just changed your middles. That might give it away, but you never want a silly rotation fault.
I mean, yeah.
So, Ouachi aces, Tuck takes a little bit off that. I think it dipped a little bit from Hamza Ouachi. Ace number 15 of the season for him.
Yeah, it's nice to see some float serves in the men's game. And, you know, we've talked about it several times this weekend. The extra bit of movement here at Crystal Palace will help them.
Tuck rejected. Andrea Maggio with it. Kadeem McCoy was over. The Giants bench want to run on court and celebrate. That's the one and last warning before a card, but Jess, doesn't matter when you block it like that.
It does not. It has absolutely been a London Giants block party in set number 2.
Good job. We talked about the fact that they struggled to block a couple of weeks ago, really, in the pre-game. Right. Ouachi with the chest. Maggio wins the point. Fist bump Mihail Stoev. And a change coming for the Knights, as Josh Sterland will give Ollie Tuck a break. And it's a 10-point lead.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that break for Tuck
Izaguirre
is...
Rodriguez challenging the ruling of not being in the subs box a little bit too much, as Freya misses.
Now by 11, 23, place 12.
Mihail Stone notices where Izaguirre Rodriguez is and tells him to return, as Ouachi ends the service run by putting it in the net. And the London Giants have to wait just an extra little second or two before moving on to set points.
Yeah, they're going to have quite a few of them at this rate.
Yeah. Championship set incoming for the London Giants, as McCoy, good touch for Giants. Maggio splits the block, beats the back row defense as well.
Yeah, the combination of Tamburini and Maggio, and it looks like they're going to retain their places on court. We're not going to have a reversal of that double substitution, but they have connected so well.
The smallest block I think Giants have pretty much fielded all year.
Yeah.
Question is, do they have to block? Yes, they do. As Gibbs runs it into Kadeem McCoy for the shutdown for set number 2. And the London Giants block party continues.
Huge for Kadeem McCoy right there at the end of set number 2. Great for him to come on and have, you know, he's part of that assisted block earlier on, and then to close out that set. But tough run so far for Newcastle. They need to figure out a way to get around this massive London Giants block. I mean, 10 blocks already in 2 sets. That's a lot going at it.
But most of them win that second set as well.
Yep.
And that was the impressive thing. We'll have a look at set number 2 in its entirety. Yes, 7 blocks.
7 blocks in 1 set. I mean, what's the most blocks that we've had in a single set this season? It's got to be close to that.
I don't think we do blocks per set without having to go through every single game one by one on Huddle, sadly.
Okay. Well, in case anybody at home happens to know.
Durham women are up there for that team performance against Side Out in October, November, because that was, what, 20 blocks in 3 sets?
Yep. Yeah.
But we are straining the memory banks here.
We are indeed.
Obviously, Giants don't feel like they need to fix much. We'll get some thoughts of Aaliyah Raffat, who's right there listening in to Sam Shenton right now, but what can the Knights do? Is it just a case of just keep going? Or do you have to start going to rolls and tips a little bit more and trying to go over the block?
They're going to have to figure out a way to get around that block. Figure out a way to beat it. I do think at the moment, the setting of Neil Rea, obviously he's an excellent setter, but there's not enough pace on the ball right now, and it's making it that much more difficult for the Newcastle offense to try and figure out a way around the block. You get coaches that have two different opinions on this. You have one set that like to run a really fast offense to try and split the block, and one that like to run a really high ball offense to give the hitters time to see the block before they try and attack the ball.
Right, YMCA is going on, but we got more important things to do. Aaliyah Rafa, what is going on down in the Newcastle huddle?
Throughout that first set, Giants seemed a bit surprised with Newcastle's tenacity. They came out strong in the block front, touching almost all front row attacks and making sure to capitalize on any giveaway points. Although they lost the first, Newcastle seemed to still be in high spirits going into that second set, but we saw how the energy slowed down while the Giants picked up. They came out and settled comfortably while showing dominance on their home court. In that Newcastle huddle, again, players are hearing technical advice from coach, like choosing a shot rather than going for just power, and they're looking to come out like nothing just happened.
Great thoughts from Aaliyah there. Really useful stuff to hear that the Newcastle huddle between sets 2 and 3 was almost identical to what we've been saying up here in the box, as Newcastle players have been getting technical guidance on choosing shots against this London Giants block.
As the comments say, sometimes you've got to believe. People saying reverse sweeps incoming. Well, if you don't believe it's coming in your Newcastle, you might as well get on the bus back north now. So why not believe? You've got 1, 2, 3 sets left on the indoor season in 25-26, and they'll start with an ace. Sam left flat-footed. It's interesting that Giants took momentum at the end of that set, Jess, with subs, and they've reversed them all. They go back to the starting 7 of Poverenko, Adikas, Feisler, Poink, Izagirre, Rodriguez, Sam, and Uauchi.
Clearly they want to get to, well, in their opinion, trying to celebrate really quick here, going back to that starting 7 that gave them such an advantage in the last set.
As Sam Shenton is getting frustrated. Ollie Tuck up to the second referee. I'm not sure that's fully allowed.
I'm wondering if he's just asking about Giants coming out from the subs box again.
No, I think, I don't know if it was maybe a 3-meter line violation. They were upset mid-rally. I didn't quite catch it from up here as Bell beats the block.
Smart
and that
swing.
Gets the fist bump from the head coach and the bench up.
Yeah, again, we heard that Shentz was talking about technical shots, choosing where to attack the ball as they're going up there, and Bell doing just that, using an awkward space in the block to get that one away.
As Sam, tight for Feisler, has to go to the bump set. Uauchi waits. Ollie Tuck, great one-handed save. But Hayden Freer goes aggressive, and Poverenko reads it and blocks it back where it came from.
Is this the start of the block party again? Interesting as well, because I saw the net ripple a little bit on that Feisler bump set. Did he brush the net? Should that have been called? So tight, these margins.
I'm going to say no.
Great pass.
Great swing, great serve. A little bit of everything from all players, and nearly a dig and a half from Izagirre to his left, but couldn't quite get on it. I appreciate all of you joining us for this gold medal game. Reminder, we are not done after today. Next week, promotion relegation playoffs, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for the National Cup finals, where the London Giants will be in action as Bell, massive pickup. Freer tries to get cute. Uauchi says, no thank you, give me the ball. Yet one more kill.
Yeah, great play there. Even a smart free ball is probably too much to be giving up to this Giant squad right now, especially when they're looking as in control as they are right this second. But right spark here for Newcastle. Bianchin getting a really good block touch on that ball from Uauchi, potentially getting to a position now where he'll be able to get some good containing block touches and potentially a block, as Giants just checking who's up for serve.
A couple of times they've got caught, and we know the referees are happy to check, but if it happens consistently, we might end up in a time delay. It's your job to track it. If not, stop moving around on serve, as you're now allowed to do, as Bianchin Buente looks for the touch.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was going for hands necessarily. I think that just hit the net tape and then went out.
Bell. Sam with a good move low to his left point. Can only pick out Ollie Tuck there. That's tight. Neil Ray goes aggressive. Povarenko alive to that. And Freer gets the hands. Feisler mad at the defense. Wanted Izagirre to be a lot deeper in the court.
Yeah, but why would they be? Because so far in the match, the containing block touches have been much further inside the court. They're setting up for that, but that's, this adjustment for Newcastle is really good so far. And what a serve to put Point off.
Izagirre Rodriguez puts that about as high as he physically can. Tuck finds Sam, and no one gets there. Uauchi screens off Feisler, and the ball drops agonizingly for the Giants. Newcastle Knights women
Oh, what a moment.
are enjoying it.
Always a classic when the middle is in the way of the setter.
Yeah. As Freer misses. But that's the more positive ace than we saw in set one.
Yeah. Yeah, much more positive here, and we've made it all the way to 10 points with only one service error. Impressive stuff.
But we'll say, calm down, chap. As Uauchi off the net tape.
Okay, commentator's curse, as I just said that we've only had one service error, and now we have another.
Always the way.
Sam with a push tip.
They're going to call something somewhere.
Bit of confusion here. Somebody in the net?
Someone in the net, under the net, something. I think Neil Ray was the guilty party.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Hold on. Amadou Sam got caught. I
think Izagirre just asking for a bit of a moment because there was a head collision.
Amadou Sam gives Nick Heckford the all clear. Perfect pass. Gibbs gets one to go. We haven't seen Newcastle have much success in the set two with the middles, but there's a big one for Isaac Gibbs.
Yeah, they haven't used the middles quite as much as I would have expected them to.
I think with Uauchi at the net, that's always a bit of a worry.
Yeah.
As Neil Ray lines one up, finds Jesus, and Dorian Point misconnects.
Yeah, Point there, probably going for high hands. Rare miss from him. But that was a great pass from Izagirre.
As Povarenko connects with the block of the Giants. Dorian Point nearly with a foot save, but it also nearly kicked it to us in the commentary room. Monster Butter Knights.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be catching that one as London Giants take a timeout.
And we'll have a look at that one again. Jess just lined up beautifully. Povarenko, Gibbs and Bell. And Newcastle had success in the games with blocks.
Yeah, big from them. Great to see Gibbs taking that little bit of an extra half a beat before jumping up against Povarenko, considering the height advantage that the Giants players have. I think we'll see a similar adjustment when they've got one-on-one situations versus Uauchi in the front.
And we'll see as Aliyah Raffat down there listening in to Mihail Stoev. And we'll hear what was happening in the Giants huddle.
Out of the Giants huddle, it's all about block consistency and showing up like they did in that last set.
Big from Kelechi Bell there.
Beautiful rally on that one. Longest of the match. Multiple one-handed saves, both teams. And we're going to see a change for Giants. Maggio, who's electric at the end of set 2, replaces Poverenko. So now a little bit of a smaller block for Newcastle to work with, as they have 10-6 lead. Set number 3 of the dynamic men's Super League final. Make that 10-7 as Neil Ray misses the back corner.
Yeah, not too many service errors this time round. Both teams have cleaned things up a bit. That's only the second for Newcastle. But Newcastle doing a much better job this time of putting up some different shots and trying to tool off of that London Giants block.
As the ace comes, Dorian Point with the serve down to the corner of 1.
Yeah, really tough ball. That's a flat serve. It's got a great amount of movement on it. And with that low toss, it's quite difficult to see. I know we're careful about screening, but with the height of the Newcastle blockers at the net, still going to struggle to see some of that ball.
As Ray out to 3, Bell high in the sky over Maggio's right hand.
Bell absolutely flying on that strike from the outside. Great swing from him.
And we appreciate all of you joining us in the chat. Nearly 450 of you now up there. Great to see some of you trying to learn about some of the players as well.
What a pass.
As Ollie Tuck can't quite make the dig.
Beautiful pass from Izagirre. Great connection between Oderkas and Feisler there. And Tuck nearly getting a hand on that ball.
And the Giants trying to just cut the gap down. As just got a little visit from Tara King, who obviously did a great job with me on commentary yesterday. She'll be going home with a silver medal. As Maggio finds Tuck. Ray with the back set, and they're going to call that.
Absolutely.
And Neil Ray's fired up. He'll have to be careful not to get a card. Sam Shenton goes to check the court.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that call. But somebody asked in the chat yesterday when Giants were playing, has Oyachi ever been blocked? Well, he did just get blocked. It was contained. It was recovered. But there was a block there. We've seen it.
As Ray Bell up and over. Amadou Sam frustrated, and Hamza Ouchi right on the scene to calm his teammate down. Talk about the bit more of a press that we've not really seen. That duo's been really press heavy at times, but that one just went up high.
Yeah, Bell doing a really great job of tooling off those fingers.
And Isaac Gibbs finds the net. As Maggio misses the baseline.
Back to trading service errors, I guess. Always a fun watch for the spectators. But Newcastle do maintain a 2-point advantage.
Must-win set for the Knights. Feisler, Sam. And Newcastle not far away, and it feels like the story of the game, right, Jess? It's been close a lot of times, but without success. They've got some touches, but they've not been able to convert properly.
Yeah, not quite there, but definitely have made some great adjustments on this block, but it's just, is it going to come too little too late when they can finally stop somebody on this London Giants offense?
Izagirre Rodriguez, who actually with the bump set, and Point finds the gap. Sam Shenton, furious.
I mean, Newcastle have a triple block up there, and Point just comes in with an easy roll shot, and it falls right in the middle of the court. So don't blame Shens for being upset about that. Good pass.
Tuck, left hand tip. Feisler, Sam through the middle. Good touch by Ollie Tuck. Neil Ray stays legal on the right side. And Tuck buries it just wide. I thought that hit the line from this angle coming towards us, but nope, me was wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it was too far out. That was a good idea. But great containing block that time from the Newcastle players. But they've got to figure out now how to convert those points.
Well, there's a point. Ray to Bianchin on the middle run.
And for the first time, I think, so far this match, we've seen one of the Newcastle players over the top of the London Giants block.
As having won the point, it heads back to the service line. Does the Brazilian point into the tuck of the chest of Tuck. Point this time, high hands of Neil Ray.
Yeah, this is what we saw at the Final Fours last year, with Point coming up with the points at the clutch moments for this London Giants squad. But a much more solid performance this set from the Newcastle Knights.
As Neil Ray does well to rescue that one. Atticus does a good job. Izaguirre Rodriguez doing the cha-cha break slide to avoid being in the way. And Ollie Tuck doesn't win the point.
I thought he was right at first, and I thought that was going out, but Maggio has been so good for the Giants.
I'll be honest, the line judge is right there. You're barreling out of court. You don't have got a great view on it. I think Nick Headford's getting his patience tested before a yellow might come flying out the pocket. As Freya Ray high to Tuck. Feisler doesn't quite connect how he wants, but Izaguirre there, beautiful bump set. But Maggio can only tip that one as Bell is shut down. Dorian Point on the lineup on a roof.
Monster block indeed here from Dorian Point. Bell has been so good this set, using those hands, but Point with that press over the net, leading up to a Newcastle timeout. Ollie Tuck heading straight back behind the bench, away from the huddle for a moment. I think he just needs a little bit of a break to calm down.
Indeed, and Sam Shenton obviously just talking probably about emotions as much as anything else.
Yeah, this is the time. There's not a lot of coaching you can do. You can maybe give a couple of pointers on where there might be gaps in the block, where there might be gaps on the court on the London Giants side.
And Aaliyah's down there listening in. What has Sam Shenton said to his team, Aaliyah?
Newcastle isn't seeming stressed coming out of this timeout. All they have to do is return to fundamentals, basics, get the pass, get the set, and finish that third contact. Or get a side out point.
Yes, indeed, Aaliyah. Newcastle, great to see them still looking fairly relaxed, all things considered. Looking to come out of that timeout, focusing on the fundamentals.
I'm quite enjoying the Newcastle women's team versus the Giants fans on the opposite side of the court. That's definitely been there. Ray takes it away from Freya and Dorian Point again there. Ollie Tuck tries to change the shot type, but Dorian Point able to adjust the block. As Drew McNeil's trying to understand Bucks. So, a couple of these players within the teams play for Bucks. As in Newcastle, most of them play for Northumbria or Newcastle University. A couple of Giants players play for Imperial, one of the Giants' partners, but there's some young talent on both teams. Even Poverenko as Bell buries that one. Daniil Poverenko's only 21 as well, so it's not all super experience.
Yeah. Kalichi Bell on the outside that time against Maggio. Absolutely over the top. No chance for that Giants defense. That serves a little too easy from Tuck.
Sam able to beat Gibbs and Bell. And we'll have a look at that one again. Amadou Sam again. It's been fairly quiet. But when he's been needed, he's the ability of the Senegalese hitter to find gaps. I think that's kill 8 on the day as Tuck sends that one skywards. Freer goes to the lovely cheeky roll over the triple block. Uauchi chewing out his middle in Atticus.
I mean, what a shot choice, though, from Freer. He sees he's got a triple block in front of him. He knows there's a massive amount of height. Just trying to sneak one into that position 4. Gets the luck of the tape roll.
Sam, that's an overpass. Tuck, back row, fires us out of system, but Giants, it doesn't seem like that's affected it. That's a tough ball for Maggio, finds Ray. Christo tight, they're going to let it go, even though it went over the net as both players kind of contacted the ball at the same time. Sam Shenton being told to calm down. He wanted something. That one rolls
and this time
over the net, and into the net go the Giants.
Yeah, Uauchi this time into the net. What a rally, though.
And we are tied at 19 apiece.
I think Michal Stoev asking second referee about that double touch potential on Bianchin.
Uauchi hits the line.
On
Isaac
the tee.
Gibbs goes at the referee, and that's a yellow card. Easy as you like.
Yep.
Only a warning in volleyball for those of you that are new.
Neil is treading on a very fine line there, clapping right next to the referee. I don't know if he's doing it at Nick Hepford or just
In general,
yeah.
as London Giants, the first team into the Magic 20s, but it is tight. Can the Knights respond? Not on that, as that's tight, and Sam reaches over and puts that down against Kalichi Bell.
Yeah, not much that Bell could do with that ball. That's a very tight set. I think Neil waiting until the last moment to decide where he wanted to set that ball.
Timeout goal. 2 different. London Giants 21. Newcastle Knights 19.
And we're in the business end. The London Giants 4 points away from repeating as champions if they can close this out in straight sets.
Into the very tight business end of this third set. Newcastle had led a good chunk of the set, but now trail 2 points. Beautiful pass.
Bianchin, Uauchi able to rescue it. Can play it twice off the first touch off the block. Uauchi nearly lands on Izaguirre Rodriguez. Henriks with the dig. Bianchin can't rescue that one. He goes into the LEDs.
Everybody's going to check to see that he's okay. He's still on the floor at the moment.
The entire Newcastle team's over there.
Misha's over there as well. I think he's
Again,
saying,
just a hand into the LED.
yep.
I'm not sure if that was legal to get or not. It must have been because they didn't call it dead. If it was inside the antenna, as soon as that ball goes over, that should be flagged out and call him off the run.
Yeah.
So it must have somehow crossed wide of it, even though his route was a little bit tricky.
Yep. First referee, Nick Heckford, just checking with him that he is actually okay to continue playing.
So 22-19, Giants lead, 22-20, Bell connects. Amadou Sam couldn't quite get the right hand out enough.
Yeah, Bell really has been so solid in this third set. And a missed connection this time. Leads to a Newcastle point, so a little bit of relief for them as Feisler and Oyachi don't quite connect. So brief timeout here from Michal Stoev. I think mostly just to ice out the server here.
Timeout, just 1 point the difference.
As we see the Newcastle Knights women heckling the London Giants bench as they're doing some warm-up maneuvers.
So, 22-21, the Knights clawing back, but coach's point, Michal Stoev. Second one, I think, of either this game or the set, but that's a crucial one. And Andy Maskadov will be a serving sub. Amadou Sam not overly thrilled with the decision. Andy Maskadov, part of the Giants team last year, barely was eligible for Final Four. Played the minimum amount of 3 games by sneaking in on the final day of the regular season. But good serve, Freya, who's been excellent in serve receive. And that's a great up by the Giants. 3-ball Knights, Freya. Power tip is won by Feisler, who stares through the net and sets up championship points.
Big moment to put in that block. Freya just struggling to do anything with that ball.
So, championship point 1, Freya, Ray rescues, going to be a free ball for the Giants. Henriks goes short. Hamza Uauchi, Feisler turns, slams, championship number 2 for the London Giants. Griffin Feisler, the setter and captain, taking it into his own hands and buries the championship buzzer.
Yeah, he was our MVP in the semifinal yesterday for good reason. Puts up a really varied offense, makes things difficult as well, being such an aggressive option himself, meaning that the block could never sleep on him when he's up at the front court. Massive congratulations to the London Giants for winning 2 championships in a row, and huge congrats as well to the Newcastle Knights for making it not only to the Final Four again this season, but this time taking home the silver medal. Great match to watch. I don't know if I'm super surprised it went to 3 sets. I was more surprised that set number 2 had as wide of a gap as it did. But London Giants just in full control from about halfway through set number 1.
Indeed, and we'll go get some reaction in a minute. But as we said, Jess, season's not over. It's the penultimate game of the Dynamic Men's Super League, as Richmond and Leeds will square off next weekend for a spot in the Super League. Loser is into Division 1. Winner goes to opening weekend next year.
Yeah.
It's always a big thing and maybe a chance to take the crown off the London Giants.
Yeah, big matchup next weekend with the playoffs for both the men's and the women's. But it's been an excellent season. Really excited to see how things finish off following up next weekend. And of course, I think the thing that I'm most excited for now that this gold medal match is finished is that we have Cup Finals weekend in 2 weeks' time in Loughborough. So do head to the Volleyball England website to buy your tickets if you haven't already.
Indeed, and obviously next week there'll be streams from Loughborough in those playoff games. As Michal Stoev gets his team together, and then we'll... Don't know why we're going for a picture before the medals. It feels a bit obsolete. I'm not gonna. I will say that much.
I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Surely wait for your medal.
Yeah. I mean, this is their own team social media, so I'm assuming that they just want to get something posted up onto socials as soon as possible.
Yeah, but you wait for your gold medal.
I
It
don't
looks
know.
way better posting a medal of you winning a championship with a medal around your neck.
I don't know. It's Giants. We see them post a lot on socials. They're really prolific. So I'm sure we'll see about 5 different posts about the gold medal match today.
Indeed.
But they have had a great season, obviously, with the men winning the gold medal for the Dynamic Men's Super League and the ladies as well, clinching that promotion from Division I South up to the Super League for next season.
And Giants now going into a bit of a huddle, probably talking about post-game plans. And Giants ignoring the pre-game protocol that they were given, but we'll let them off. They are the champions for back-to-back years.
Yeah. But that just means that everybody at home has to listen to us blabber on for a few extra minutes ahead of Aaliyah catching up with our match MVP.
No,
Sorry, with the coach first. Sorry.
We don't know who the MVP is.
That's a good shout.
And Aaliyah is ready with the Giants coach, Michal Stoev. Over to you, Aaliyah.
Coach, first off, congratulations. Tell me how it feels to be a 2-time Super League champion on your home court.
Well, it's every next time I think it's more special. Everyone else gets better and better, and for us to keep the level, and obviously we need to increase it at the moment to stop developing. You're falling behind because everyone else are getting better. So it's very special, and yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very happy about it.
Was there anything special you prepared for these final playoff games that are almost always more pressure, more emotional?
Well, I'll tell you, I've stayed yesterday evening up to 2 a.m. to prepare the game for today anyway, so I did work out. I'm not sure if it's me preparing or the guys stepped up. They executed many of the things we've set up as a goal, so yeah, it was great to see the guys following the instructions for a difference. I think it was detrimental point of our season where we lost against Maori like a month ago, 3-0. The guys has changed. They saw we don't want this. We want to step up, and they really stepped up. And this is the moment I realized these are the guys that's going to win it. And obviously, coming on the weekend with 2 games to 3-0, I think we showed up that we really stepped up and we did our homework. So yeah, pretty pleased with that.
And can you think of someone specifically that helped you with that turnaround, or was it just an all-out team effort, just like today?
Well, you see, we had a few people coming in, and Andrea came in very well for Daniel, who got to struggle at some point. And there are a lot of defensive play, which are not really a defensive team. Keep in mind, we're quite tall team. We did a very good job in the defense. So I can't really say a single person who made a difference, but I'm just happy for overall for the whole team how they performed.
Yeah.
Fair, absolutely.
I'll let you get back to your team, but congrats again.
Thanks. I need to get my medal. Thank you.
Yes, you do.
Great to hear from Michal Stoev after that victory. And again, great to hear how important it is for teams to come together in these championship moments. As in just a couple of minutes' time, we're going to have the medal presentations for the silver and gold medal for this Dynamic Men's Super League.
But it is now time for the medal presentation for the men's gold medal match. First of all, would you please show your appreciation for our presentation party, Member of Parliament for Beckenham and Penge, Liam Conlon.
So we have our local Member of Parliament, Ian Bedworth, joined by Gwen Batten of Volleyball England fame to present the medals for this gold medal match.
Would you please put your hands together for first referee, Nick Heckford.
And we're going to start with a recognition of our refereeing squad. So we have, of course, first referee Nick Heckford and our second referee Dominic Bijalo to be recognized for their effort today. Again, refereeing across all of this weekend has been excellent. So we'll start with our silver medalists as medals are handed out to starting with their captain, number 8, Ollie Tuck, number 24, Angus Hendricks, number 1, Neil Rea, number 9, Sam Smallwood, number 11, Kalichi Bell, number 12, Isaac Gibbs, number 19, Brian Cunningham-Tyre, number 20, Cade Trujillo, number 21, Louis Vandervelts, number 23, Hayden Freer, number 25, Cade Keats, number 27, Joshua Sterland, and number 34, Cristo Bianchin-Puente. And of course, recognition for their coaching staff, starting with head coach Sam Shenton, assistant coach Daniel Livingston, and of course, on stats, they've got the infamous James Joseph Ledbury and Harry Hebbard helping them out today. So, huge round of applause for the Newcastle Knights, taking home silver for the men's, bronze for the women's. Great season for them. But now, on to the main event, as the gold medals are handed out to this London Giants 2-year championship team, starting with their captain, number 8, Griffin Feisler, number 17, Jesus Roman Izaguirre Rodriguez, number 1, Daniel Provorenko, number 2, Vidas Audikas, number 3, Hamza Oyachi, number 4, Diego Tamburini, who has tasted championship before, number 9, Andy Muskadov, number 10, Nicholas Azate Sabatka, number 11, Kadeem McCoy, number 12, Andrea Maggio, also previous champion with IBB Polonia, number 19, Amadou Sam, number 29, George Ivanov, number 44, Dorian Poink, and of course their head coach, Mikhail Stoev, assisted by Cyril Ormank, Philip Denchev, Youssef Lahat, and Juan Uran Montoya, rounding out the Giants coaching staff. But what a season for London Giants. Great to see a huge crowd out for this Dynamic Men's Super League Final Four gold medal match. And the back-to-back champions, I'm sure, will be out celebrating before too long.
From the grand final. Can I get a drum roll, please, everybody? With 11 points for his team, of which we have 9 kills, 1 block and 1 ace, is Amadou Sam!
And we have Sam announced as our match MVP with 9 kills, 1 block and 1 ace on today, but it was the solid performance that he showed in defense, in the service reception, which he had struggled with a little bit yesterday, really shining through and earning him that MVP selection.
One more time for your MVP, Amadou Sam!
So huge round of applause for him. A couple of photos, of course.
It is time for the trophy lift. If I can have the captain step forward to come and receive
And
the
we're now going to have Griffin Feisler step forward to collect the gold medal trophy
Right, give us some drama,
to take back to his team.
Give us the drama, your champion!
Loads of drama this time, as you can see the joy on the London Giants celebrating that victory. Excellent season, though, as looks like they're just turning the board around to take a photo in front of all of the supporters here, because there are loads of London Giants supporters. Of course, they're a local team,
Now, a massive thank you to all of you
but a nice visual to see them with their medals and that trophy
2 days of
up
competition.
ahead of their fans that have been so supportive
You've been
throughout this
absolutely
weekend.
outstanding. A few other thank yous as well to all of our volunteers, to our event staff, the venue staff, our technical officials and referees. referees, and of course our partners. Kit Rounds, Amari, Dynamic, Shura, Awarded,
And a big thank you to all of the staff and volunteers who have put on such an amazing weekend here back at the Crystal Palace National Sports Center. It's been excellent. The officiating staff has been great. The venue's been great. The crowd has been excellent. We always love the atmosphere up here. And if you want to experience something similar, do come out to the Cup Finals weekend in 2 weeks' time. Again, you can get those tickets for that Cup Finals weekend on the Volleyball England website. I'm reasonably certain that the news article is still on the front page of the Volleyball England website, so easy to find. And as Newcastle is about to go and have their own team photos taken, we will hopefully be joined down courtside to have an interview with our match MVP. But first off to Michael Hansen-Morris, who is going to have a chat with Amadou Sam.
Thank you very much, Jess. Here with our MVP, Amadou Sam. Amadou, congratulations. How does it feel to win the title?
Oh, it's an honor, pleasure. We've been working for this season really hard. Of course, we have all the support from our coach and Drizan trying to make everything better. So, yeah, I think we are really happy for this result.
And for you, a different experience coming to the UK, working with a different team, a different group of personalities. How much enjoyment have you had this year?
Yeah, I did have a lot of enjoyment, and I also appreciate how the federation are trying to build the volleyball here, which is like really coming strong. So I'm really happy being here.
And obviously a big weekend for you. Didn't drop a set, but the season isn't over. So how are you going to enjoy it, but then get focused again for the cup final? Because I know you want to win both trophies.
Yeah, exactly. The work is not done yet. So we will just celebrate for tonight and then ready for the next one. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you want to go celebrate with the fans,
Yeah,
so we'll let you go.
course,
But congratulations, you
Thank
are
you,
the
thank you
Dynamic
very
Men's
much.
Super League MVP.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And now the thoughts of your MVP, and we'll get the team in behind the scenes. First of all, joining Aliyah Rafa. Aliyah, you were courtside. You could feel the emotion from Newcastle. They poured everything in, but in the end, Giants just solidness and stability really paid dividends.
Yeah, 100%. I think exactly what we were talking about before, that experience, especially winning one and then coming again and just instilling, I think, as a program that they are the best. And for the last 2 years, they have been. And I think going forward, that's momentum they can take into the next few years.
And obviously, it said, similar to Durham now, the challenge is, can you knock off the champions if you're in the cup final? It's a different challenge, but the Giants, it's about being consistent now, because they've had the ups and downs, but they are showing that they've got so many weapons. It's going to be difficult in the final to try and knock them off.
Yeah. I mean, as difficult as it is, I think anybody is beatable on any given day. And I want to go back to the energy from Newcastle. I want to shout out the libero, 24. I think he is just an absolute animal of energy. Like, in every single timeout that I was, not even the ones that I was in, I could hear him from the Giants side. He is always supporting his teammates. He is always motivated, and I think that's really what gives his team the motivation to just really keep going as they did in the last 3 sets.
That National Cup final, Giants Mallory in a couple of weeks, 7:30 on the time slot. And we'll bring in Jess Smith as well, who's made her way down from the commentary box as well. And Jess, it's been an enjoyable season, right, in the Super League. We've had ups and downs, but in the end, I think when we reflect on both championships combined, Durham and Giants, probably the best overall team, found a way to win this weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, specifically with Durham, we saw them close out the season. I mean, going completely undefeated right the way up to the gold medal match is really impressive stuff. And of course, Giants as well, closing out the season top of the table and then closing it out here in today's gold medal match. Great fight back from Newcastle, despite the little bit of a wobble in set number 2, we'll put it that way. But yeah, huge matchup between these two sides, and it's exciting to see the increase in competitiveness across the league.
Yeah, massive games. We've got 2 more weeks though. We are not done on the indoor season. Next week, promotion relegation playoffs on Loughborough on the Sunday, and then we'll be back as a group in Loughborough for cup finals. But before we go, there's one guy and he's going to hate this. We need to talk about him. It's his last penultimate stream with us. JC up in the booth. He's been behind the camera, getting this all set up, bringing the production a little bit forwards. Someone's going to be missed, but again, great to have him on board. And you had some fun this morning on commentary too.
Oh yeah, I mean, JC on commentary is a hoot. I know he had to step in a couple weeks ago when there was a bit of an issue with Super League Live, but really great.
That might be my fault.
It's fine. It's fine. I wasn't able to make it either, so no, it was a load of fun, and obviously JC's going to be massively missed here at the Volleyball England squad because he is a huge part of the production value that we put out.
Yeah, and I appreciate our entire team, the guys behind the camera, the guys running the stream. A big team effort's gone into this, of course, all the Volleyball England sponsors. But from Aaliyah Raffert, Jess Smith, myself, Mike Hansen-Mosey, and the entire team, thank you for joining us at Final Four, our champions, the London Giants and the Durham Palatinates.